Welcome to the Hull Tanked Brutix Guide sample. This video is just one of the narrated fight videos from the Hull Tanked Brutix Guide. In the Hull Tanked Brutix Guide, there's also fitting videos, tactics videos, and about 6 more videos just like this that show you what to do in actual real-world fights. I hope you enjoy this. If you do, there's going to be a link at the end where you can go check out this guide for yourself.
Hey guys, welcome to this fight video where you're going to see me in, I believe it's in Fade, and I'm fighting against a gang of people who live there. It's SMA who lives there, or lived at the time of this video. That may change in the future, who knows. So let's get the video started here. I say Sabres and Frigs with Osprey Logi because, as you can see right here, it's 2 Sabres and an Osprey. So I want you to think about what you would do in this situation. Let's just pause it for a second. Because first you got to analyze your enemy, right? So your enemy, you know, okay, Sabres are going to have bubbles. They're probably going to have some decent DPS output, you would hope. Roughly, you know, I usually assume them to have roughly 300 DPS. It's pretty average, depending on how they're fit. Could be 200, could be 400. So I'm assuming about roughly 300 DPS output from each one of those, plus they'd probably both have a bubble launcher. And then the Osprey is the interesting thing here, because the Osprey is almost always Tech 1 Shield Logi, especially in a combat situation. I mean, it's very rare to see an Osprey do anything else except Shield Logi. So my initial thought and my initial strategy here is that I want to force that Osprey through the gate before I engage the Sabres. Now, ideally, the Sabres would engage me first, then I force the Osprey through, but it's absolutely crucial that I get the Osprey out of the fight before the fight starts if I want to be able to kill the Sabres quickly. I can probably power his reps, but I'm not sure that I can. It all depends on his fit and his skills, as well as the resists of the Sabres. So, yeah, maybe I can overpower it, but ideally I would like to force that Osprey out of the fight and then engage both the Sabres while the Osprey's having to reapproach and come back in. And by the time the Osprey jumps back in, both the Sabres are dead. That's the plan. So, I mean, I really want to kill the Sabres. That's what I want to kill, because those are like 60 mil each usually on average. So I would prefer to kill them, but I've got to get rid of that Osprey first. So, is the video moving here? There we go. All right, so lock everything, put DPS on the Osprey. So right now the Osprey's having to make a choice. Do I stay or do I leave? And he has to leave. Now, unfortunately, there's a Tyrannus come in. One of the Sabres jumped through the bubble to the other side. Not sure why. They just decided, hey, well, this guy's too dangerous. He's forced our Logi off the field. Now we're scared of him. Rather than fight him here, we're going to just jump away and avoid him. The Tyrannus was kind of trying to back off the gate, so I decided, well, no, you're not going to back off the gate. I'm going to kill you if you try to get off that gate. And then he was able to jump through. Yeah, he jumped through. So now I'm here alone, which it's a mistake on their side to leave me alone here. I mean, I can just escape, and they've lost their kill. So, you know, I'm assuming I'm lining off the gate, not just because there's a bubble, but because it doesn't make sense to me that they would just leave me alone here. I'm hoping that they'll engage, so I'm locking everything up just in case it comes at me. As you can see, it's not coming at me. There's actually nothing coming at me. And I just decide, well, it's starting to get to be a little bit hot. There's a little bit too much there. I'm going to warp off. Honestly, I didn't have to warp off there. I could have just fought them there. Well, it was like 30 off the gate. I could have just fought them there 30 off the gate and been just fine. So, basically here I just fly around a little bit, so there's not much that happens here for the next few seconds. But you can see their gang has grown. I mean, obviously it's their space. They can get back up pretty quick. That's what I talk about in my movement video on the website. You can search for it. Just search for movement. And you'll see where I say that you need to stay moving. So I'm going to go jump through another gate, try to force these guys to chase me, to keep them moving, not let them rest and get into a... You don't want to be predictable. You don't want them to know exactly what you're going to do next. Eve is a game of misdirection. So By doing this, I've spread them out a little bit so they're not all on me at one time. And so now I see what they're doing. I can see the Tyrannus is engaged. I should have got Scram Web point on him right there. DPS. It's bad on my part. I should have had a faster reaction there and saw that opportunity. But he gets out there. Everything's going out at range away from me, and they're putting the throwaway Condor on me. So I see the Condor's coming close to scram me. And I see there's another Condor in. They're just throwaway tackles, so I need to just drop them really quick, get them off the field, and force the more expensive ships to come in at me. So with these, the drones are going to do most of the work on these small ships, but if you get a solid hit, you can just pretty much one-shot them off the field. Like right there, I think I got a solid hit with my guns. And so same thing with the second Condor, if I haven't had a locked yet. The Osprey comes in here, and I really, really badly, let's pause it. I really, really badly want to chase down that Osprey, to burn straight at him, micro-warp drive on, and primary him, because I worry that his reps are going to be too much for me to break. In retrospect, it's not true. But I'm scrammed, I'm webbed. There's no way, no chance that I'm going to be able to catch him. He's much faster than me right now. He's gotten out away from me. He's gone. I need to ignore the Osprey and focus only on killing the ships that are scramming me, because the ships scramming me are the ones that can hold me down should this turn into a fight that's not in my favor. It's still something in my favor. Right now, everything looks great. There's nothing here that scares me. This is all relatively weak ships that die fast. There's nothing here that's at all a challenge to me, right? So I need to, you can see I say right here, catch Tyrannus while he's close. So this time, I missed him the first time. I'm not missing him this time. I'm going to make sure and finish that Tyrannus off while he's within my range. I need to get my drones off the Osprey as well. That's kind of wasteful. I guess it's just like a Falcon, I guess. Just the other night, I was in a fight. And I put my drones on the Falcon. I jumped in the gate, a bunch of stuff uncloaked around me, put my drones on the Falcon, and then burned away from the Falcon. So not only was I like 120 off the Falcon, and I had 2 Sabres on me, strangely, coincidence. 2 Sabres. My drones were on the Falcon the entire time as I burned away. So eventually my drones, just for the sake of being on the target, forced the Falcon off the field. Those are the two kind of strategies for anti-Falcon fighting. Is for one, you can get far enough away from him to where his ECM is no longer effective. For some reason, these Sabres that I was fighting didn't scram me. I was in a nano rupture, and I was able to just keep moving away from him. And they'd come in and scram me for a second, but then they'd back off. So I'm not really sure what they were doing. But the other one is, do you put the drones on them? If you could get your drones on a Falcon, then eventually they're going to force them off the field, because there's something, typically, not always, but you can pretty much assume most of the time Falcons are going to be very weakly tanked. Their tank is their ECM. If they've got drones on them, they're eventually going to have to leave the field. And it's very similar for this Osprey. If I left my drones on him, there's potential my drones are going to eat through him enough to where he's going to have to leave the field. So you could make the point that leaving the drones on him would be beneficial. I don't think I do. I didn't think about that at the time. Drones to the Tyrannus. Keep at 3K. Trying to, keep them inside my optimal or close to my optimal, as well as far away as possible to minimize transversal. I got a Sabre now within my reach. Get my claws into him, and he's really what I wanted. I mean, that's 60 mil. That's pretty much the price of my ship. Kill one Sabre, and I've won this fight. Right, and so now I've got a Tyrannus, a Sabre, and a Condor. That Sabre's going down. I'm going to get ready to switch to... I really wish I put a point on the other Sabre really quick. Grab him. Point him. Why don't you point him? Point him. No. Okay, another mistake there. So now I'm going to get the Condor. I guess in hindsight, you can say all these things, but I assumed he would stay close. I didn't predict that he would burn off of me again. So at this point, I decide to leave. Now, I don't know why I decided to leave. Maybe it's because local's gone up some. It's 13 in local. I haven't run my directional in a while. That's a mistake. I should have run my directional. see what was coming in. But I think just out of the fact that I've already gotten some good kills, and I'm bubbled, and I'm not really, there's nothing here within my point range that I can kill. Maybe I could kill the pods. That probably would be smart. But I just decide, hey, let's just back off. Let's get out of here. Hit our MJD. Make sure we align first. Align MJD. Get out of here. Make us safe. And then reassess the situation so that I can, because there's all this chaos of the fight, the heat of the moment. You can kind of lose your bearings and lose your situational awareness because you've been fighting and so focused on all this other stuff that you lose track of what actually is happening around you and what potentially could be coming to blob you. So sometimes it's good just to disengage before maybe the fight would have really been over and kind of reassess where you stand in the fight and make sure that you still are in a good position before going back in. But that's arguable too. You could stay there and fight it to the death. That's what the Brutix is all about, just fight to the death. But for some reason here, I decided to get out, reassess the situation, back off. It's as good a solution as anything else. They all knew that they were dead if they came close to me. Most likely, the only thing I would have been able to get beyond after that point, if I'd have stayed, all I would have gotten were a few pods, and most likely pretty low-value pods, I would guess. So it was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I think mostly, for most of that fight, I played it really well. I found a group of smaller ships. There was no battleships in there, no battle cruisers, no heavy assault cruisers, nothing crazy. There's a lot of targets that are my ideal targets, and I was able to engage them and escape. I was able to get them to engage me even. When they first bubbled me on that one gate, they all jumped through, and I ran and jumped through another gate. Or maybe I think I did. And so I think I moved around pretty well, and I got a good fight there. You can see here I got a Condor, Tyrannus, and a Sabre. I'm just going to do quick math in my head. That's just under 100 million ISK, I would guess, in damage I did to them without losing my ship. So I would call that one a success. And I believe that's the end of the video. Let me just fast forward to make sure. Yeah, it is. So that's the end of that video. That one, I did slide it. I did it with the writing on the screen. Those take a lot more work to do, but I'm trying to, if I can, do one or two more of those. So I think they help with the lesson and with the teaching. So I hope you liked that video. If so, let me know in the comments.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If so, you're going to love the Hull Tanked Brutix guide. The Hull Tanked Brutix guide has 2 separate fittings for the Hull Tanked Brutix. A tactics lecture that shows you everything you need to know about flying the Brutix, the tactics you use in each of your fights, how to escape bad situations, as well as narrated fights videos like the one you just watched. If you're interested, click the link on the screen and go check it out right now.